India is one of the very few countries in the world that possesses truly extraordinary economic potential. Few nations combine such a vast and rapidly growing population, an expanding industrial base, a strategically ideal geographic location for global trade, one of the largest English-speaking populations on the planet, and an enormous agricultural sector capable of feeding hundreds of millions of people. On paper, India seems destined for economic greatness. Over the past decade, India has increasingly been described as a more attractive long-term economic partner than China. Many analysts now consider India China's most serious structural competitor and believe it could become one of the most powerful economies of the 21st century. Yet history has shown that economic potential does not automatically translate into economic reality. India has many reasons why it could become a global economic superpower, but it also faces deep, persistent challenges that continue to slow its rise. The country has the theoretical capacity to generate enormous wealth for the global economy and lift hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. The real question is why this has not yet fully happened, and whether it still can. As of 2026, India continues to industrialize at a rapid pace. Its economy has more than doubled in size over the past decade, positioning it as a cheaper manufacturing and services alternative to China. But cheap labor alone is not enough to secure long-term prosperity. Why India looks better than China, at least on paper. India's economic potential has grown significantly over time, and in several key areas, it now appears to outperform China's long-term outlook. To understand why, we need to look at how China's own success has reshaped global production. China's economic rise dramatically increased living standards for hundreds of millions of its citizens. But with that success came higher wages, stronger labor demands, and rising production costs. At the same time, growing geopolitical tensions have steadily reduced the benefits of outsourcing manufacturing to China. Some goods simply cannot be produced efficiently in high-income economies. Labor-intensive manufacturing, such as textiles, furniture, and basic consumer goods, remains highly sensitive to wage increases. Indian workers still earn substantially less on average than their Chinese counterparts, allowing India to absorb much of the outsourcing that once flowed almost exclusively into China. For products that rely heavily on manual labor, even small wage increases can have large price effects. Doubling the wages of garment workers, for example, could nearly double the cost of a basic t-shirt. Higher incomes inevitably lead to higher prices. By contrast, high-tech manufacturing tells a very different story. Factories producing computers, electronics, and advanced machinery rely far more on automation than human labor. Workers in these environments mainly supervise, maintain, and optimize machines rather than manually assemble products. As a result, labor costs represent only a small fraction of total production costs. Even if wages in these industries were doubled, the final price of the product might rise by only 5 to 10%. This simplified comparison illustrates a crucial point. Labor costs matter far more for some industries than others. China understands this reality. To continue raising wages without losing competitiveness, it has shifted aggressively toward advanced manufacturing, robotics, and technology-intensive production. India, meanwhile, has pursued a different advantage. India's greatest structural advantage may not be manufacturing at all, but services. Thanks to its massive English-speaking population, India has become a global hub for outsourced services. From customer support to accounting, design, data processing, and increasingly software development, Indian workers provide services to companies all over the world. In many cases, the physical location of service work no longer matters. With remote work becoming normalized, there is little difference between performing office tasks in a high-income country or in India, except for cost. A job that pays modest wages by Western standards can still provide a strong middle-class income in India. As a result, service exports often generate more long-term value for India than exporting physical goods. Software development, IT support, back-office operations, and digital services require no shipping, no ports, and no logistics chains across oceans. They generate steady foreign income and integrate directly into the global economy. Coding, in particular, has become one of the most important pillars of India's outsourcing sector. Much of this work involves building and maintaining websites, applications, and internal systems for companies that do not need world-class innovation. They simply need reliable digital infrastructure.